A dockworker loading crates on the ship finds that a 20-kilogram crate, initially at rest on a horizontal surface, requires a 75 Newton horizontal force to set it in motion. However, after the crate is in motion, a horizontal force of 60 newtons is required to keep it moving with a constant speed. Find the coefficients of static and kinetic friction between the crate and the floor. Alright, so here is our box. Okay, tells you that it's 20 kilograms. Okay, it is initially at rest. So, when you apply a force of 75 newtons when it's at rest, it moves, right? And there's friction here. Of course, mg and normal force as well. But we only care about our horizontal forces at this point. Okay? So, sum of forces in the x direction equals ma. Now we're talking about static friction first. Let's do that first. So in static friction, is there acceleration? No. So this entire thing is basically zero. But we are applying a force of 75 newtons. So 75 newtons, right, minus our frictional force equals 0. Okay, therefore, our frictional force equals 75 newtons. We know that friction is equal to the coefficient of static friction times our normal force. We also know what our normal force is. Our normal force is the same in this case as our weight. And the weight of this is going to be 20 times 9.8, 196, and 75 divided by 196 is 0.382. Okay? And this has no units. Okay? Then it tells us later on in the problem about the coefficient of kinetic friction. It says, after the crate is in motion, a horizontal force of 60 newtons is required to keep it moving with a constant speed. So if it says constant speed, therefore no acceleration, therefore this side is entirely zero. But it says 60 newtons of applied force is required. And then there's also frictional force equals 0. So frictional force equals 60 newtons. Our kinetic friction equals 60 newtons. Therefore, our mu k equals 60 divided by 196, which gives us 0.306. Okay, so this was your applied force, this was your frictional force, this is mg, and this is fn. This is your coefficient of static friction. Okay, let's just write that down real quick. Static friction. And this is your coefficient of kinetic friction. And these are your answers.